Sox Network. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Arbella Insurance. Here for Red Sox fans. Here for good. Dig safe. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. Nissan. There's no escaping summer savings at the Nissan Summer Event. Shop NissanUSA.com. Kubota and your local New England Kubota tractor dealers. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Network. Catches Law Group. New England's injury attorney pros at CatchesLaw.com. New England Ford dealers and Ford Trucks, official truck of the Red Sox. Anderson Windows and your local Anderson Windows dealers. Love the life you see. Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Subaru of New England. Subaru summer is finally here. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Cross Country Mortgage. Dedicated to getting it done. The Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. Start your Massachusetts adventure at visitma.com.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey, powered by the Beat the Streak podcast, with new tips daily to help you win a $5.6 million prize. Listen on the Odyssey app and wherever you find your podcasts.
The teams you care about.
Mac Jones is good. That's not the question. The question is he good enough to win repeatedly in this loaded AFC?
The stories that matter to you.
If I'm Xander Bogaerts, I need three things in order to get over that insulting contract offer.
This is your home for New England sports.
Jason Tatum, superstar. Book it.
This is the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM, FM, and WDEVradio.com.
What's up, everybody? Brady Farkas Show on this pre-holiday Friday on WDEV AM and FM and WDEVradio.com. Yeah, our final show before the long holiday weekend. We're off on Monday also, so we're going to give it to you all now, and we got to compress it all into 48 minutes. We have a ton to get to. I had a full 90-minute show planned. I didn't even know if that was enough for all the stuff we have to get to. Red Sox just took on the Cubs. They lost at 6-5. We'll give you the highlights from that disappointing game. Bottom line, don't walk the ballpark, and you got a good chance at beating bad teams, but Red Sox couldn't do that. It's a big loss, especially now with the Blue Jays on their way to a victory today. That would put the Red Sox a game behind Toronto. We got some thoughts on the I got an all-time story that I have to tell you. I was going to lead with that, but now I'm going to close with that. I've got a story from what happened to me last night that some of you are just not going to believe. Shout out Harold from Hardwick, though, for coming up clutch on that. We'll get to why that's important. And Jack Leggett's going to join the show, the former UVM baseball coach who spent 20-plus years at Clemson and went to the College World Series 6 times. He and I have been playing phone tag, texting each other as to when he's actually going to get on the air. He's going to be with us at about 6:30, so Jack Leggett will be with us, and then I will be able to tell you all the story from last night. The Brady Farkas Show text line is always open, 802-585-3026. Your locally owned Napa stores in Waterbury and Morrisville are the sponsors of that. You can get in also on our Facebook live stream, YouTube Live, and Twitter as well. So again, get in on the Napa Morrisville, Napa Waterbury text line.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we go.
The opening thoughts on the Brady Farkas Show are brought to you by Sticks and Stuff and by Swanton Lumber, Vermont's most complete locally owned home center, with locations in Enosburg, Derby, Middlesex, St. Albans, and at Swanton Lumber. They're online at sticksandstuff.com. The Red Sox are very lucky because I want to be mad at them for what just happened and how bad that loss was to an awful Cubs team in a game they needed to win. I really want to be mad at them, but I can't be mad today. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I can't be mad at the Red Sox because the Celtics have made me so damn happy. Brad Stevens today pulled off a coup. Brad Stevens today pulled off a fleecing. Brad Stevens today undressed the Indiana Pacers, and Brad Stevens today made an absolute killing. While everyone was out there talking about Kevin Durant and the idea of Kevin Durant to the Celtics, Brad Stevens was out there acquiring point guard Malcolm Brogdon from the Indiana Pacers for Daniel Tice, Aaron Nesmith, a few low-level bench players that never play, and a future first-round pick. I want to make this crystal clear. crystal clear. This move by Brad Stevens, this move for the Boston Celtics is a home run. I like clear wins. This is a clear and undeniable win. In Malcolm Brogdon, the Celtics get that secondary ball handler we've asked about. They acquire that playmaker we've asked them to get. They've acquired a guy who can also play defense as well. Nearly everything they needed, they got in one player, and they didn't have to give up practically anything. They didn't have to give up practically anything. The Celtics got a lot better, and they didn't take away from any of their top 8 rotational players. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do business. It doesn't always have to be the Kevin Durant type deal. It can be a smaller deal that's impactful, and this deal absolutely will be impactful. Brogdon can help Marcus Smart at the point guard position. He can help the Celtics out rotationally. He gives them all kinds of lineup flexibility. I mean, think about this. The team could go small with both Brogdon and Smart playing at the same time, right? Brogdon and Smart can play together. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are on the court, and then there's Rob Williams, and you go generally pretty small. You can do that. You can also play one of the two guards in Brogdon and Smart, and then go a little bigger if you want to get Horford in there at the same time as Rob Williams. This gives you all kinds of flexibility. And it gives you those two ball handlers so you can do exactly what I've been asking you to do, which is make it so Jason Tatum doesn't have to handle the ball and have to work so hard offensively. Brogdon can be the sixth man. Smart can be the sixth man. This opens up a world of opportunities for your Boston Celtics. We talk about Tatum being tired at the end of the playoffs, being worn down in the finals. Well, Brogdon being there to handle the ball when Smart's on the bench, this takes a lot of the load off Jason Tatum. You want to lighten his load? Well, make it so he doesn't have to work so hard offensively. This does that. I mean, and by the way, Malcolm Brogdon can do a ton for you, right? In addition to the rotational flexibility, he averaged 19 points a game last year. He's a career 37% three-point shooter. He plays good defense. You don't sacrifice your values there. He averaged nearly 6 assists. This is a complete player. This, when he's healthy, is an all-star level player that you just acquired for peanuts. You didn't give up any of your top 8 to acquire Malcolm Brogdon. Brad Stevens, pat yourself on the back because this was a coup. You didn't give up Tatum. You didn't give up Brown. You didn't give up Robert Williams. Didn't give up Smart, Derek White, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard. Heck, you didn't even give up Grant Williams. They all get to stay. I didn't want to blow up the team. It's why I didn't want to acquire Kevin Durant. I didn't want to blow up this team. I didn't want to blow up this core. You haven't done that. You have added to it. All you have done is supplement this great young core the Celtics have. This is a huge win, and I am completely giddy about it. I wasn't expecting on the Friday before the 4th of July to have like great sports news to report today, and we got some of the best sports news. Malcolm Brogdon, 19 points a game, can shoot the three, can pass, is a playmaker, can handle the ball, can ease the load on Smart, can ease the load on Tatum, gives you rotational flexibility, plays great defense, fits in with what Ime Udoka wants. I love it. Improves your overall depth without sacrificing your core principles. And Malcolm Brogdon has already said his goal is to come to Boston and win a title. His goal is to come here and be the missing piece for this Celtics team. I like that, and I don't think it's lip service. Of course, it's the thing you're supposed to say, but I genuinely believe it. I've always said, right, different players are motivated by different things. Well, Malcolm Brogdon is 29 years old. He's already been a featured player on a team. He's already gotten a big contract. So he's already checked off a lot of the things that players want in their career. Can I get the big money, and can I be my team's star? Check and check. Now what's the third thing? Now I'm at the stage where I want a ring. Now I'm at the stage where I'm willing to sacrifice. Now I'm at the stage where I'm fitting in with the team, where I'm coming in and I'm knowing my role and I'm playing it well. This is what I want. I wanted the Celtics to go get the Ricky Rubio type. They've done better than that. And they didn't have to sacrifice anything. Daniel Tice, he has moments, right? Not a loss. Aaron Nesmith almost never played. Not a loss. The bench guys that a lot of people have never heard of, Nick Stauskas, not a loss. And the first-round draft pick they gave up, also not a loss. I know people see a first-round draft pick and are like, oh, boy, wow, they gave up a lot of value. Not in the NBA. In the NBA, any draft pick outside the lottery, to me, is essentially worthless. Outside the top 13, draft picks are largely complete lottery tickets, and assuming the Celtics will be good, their draft pick that they gave up is going to be what? Anywhere between 25 and 30? If 13 is the cap that we say actually means something, 25 to 30 is essentially meaningless. Yeah, sometimes you get a Isaiah Thomas. Sometimes you get a Draymond Green late in the draft. Not often. So giving up 25 to 30 means absolutely nothing to me. It's a great trade. It's being universally graded as such. I was reading The Athletic today. They were saying the trade was great. Everybody loves this trade for Boston. Look, the money is the money. The Celtics are over the tax now. Doesn't matter to me. Not my money. Make the team better without sacrificing your core. It's what the Celtics have done. And that right there is all we can ask for. You've made the team better without sacrificing your core. That's a absolute home run for Brad Stevens. 802-585-3026. How do you feel about this news? Because I feel pretty damn good. There's a lot of stuff happening in the NBA, and a lot of big stuff, right? The Jokic extension, the Karl Anthony Towns extension, this massive trade today between the Jazz and the Wolves, in which Rudy Gobert goes to Minnesota for 4 players and 4 draft picks. That's massive. Kevin Durant's going to get traded. Kyrie Irving might get traded. There's a lot of big stuff happening in the NBA, and here's Brad Stevens working behind the scenes, making not necessarily the biggest move, but making one of the best moves. That's what we ask our executives to do. Sometimes we ask them to go all in and be ultra aggressive, and sometimes we ask them to be smart. And in this case, I think Brad Stevens did both. He was very smart, he was very prudent, while also making a move that signifies your desire to win. He recognized the weakness on this team. He saw that this team needs bench scoring, needs another scorer, needs another playmaker, and needs to still be able to play defense, and he went out and found it all. That right there, my friends, is what we call a humongous coup. Brad Stevens, excellent, excellent job. Now the Celtics can go out still and get another big. That's the other thing I've asked for, but now I think the Celtics are, I can't say they're largely done, right? I can't say that, but there is nothing I look at and say is incredibly glaring with the exception of another big. That is the thing that I think they need, is another big at this point. They are as close to complete now as I think they need to be. Now, I understand Durant could go to one of your rivals, and that might scare people. It scares me too. But if you look at the Celtics, they are better today than they were the day they lost the NBA Finals. And that is, right now, the goal. It's a great move by Brad Stevens. It is the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. All right, I've been waiting days for this interview. It's finally going to happen. Jack Leggett is going to stop by. He is a Vermont legend, South Burlington native, former UVM baseball coach back when they had the program, and he went to the College World Series 6 times with Clemson. An absolute legend. What was it like to coach in Omaha? Jack Leggett next on Brady Farkas Show on WDEV.
Montpelier's July 3rd Independence Day celebration is all-American and uniquely Montpelier. Join us in downtown Montpelier on Sunday, July 3rd for a full day of family fun. Start with a food truck festival and performances on the Family Fest stage by John Gilmore, Caribou, and Big Naza with Providence Drum Troupe. Then enjoy the Montpelier Mile, a community parade, music by Raison Radio, and fireworks presented by North Country Federal Credit Union. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, National Life Group, Union Mutual, Community National Bank, and North Country Federal Credit Union. For the full schedule of events, shuttle information, and street closure details, visit MontpelierAlive.com/July 3.
Stop by the Bragg Farm in East Montpelier for the best maple creamies around. Route 14 in East Montpelier. Proud to support the July 3rd activities in Montpelier. Stop by Notion at 68 State Street for fabric, yarn, and craft kits for all ages. Elevate your evening with craft cocktails, oysters, and raw bar while soaking up the sun on their patio at Oaks and Evelyn on State Street.
Head to Waterbury on July 8th and 9th for the Waterbury Arts Fest. It kicks off with the Friday night block party headlined by The Grift. Gates open at 5 p.m. and this classic street dance includes a fabulous beer garden and a food truck court to keep you dancing under the stars. Come back the next day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Saturday Arts Market with over 100 booths of arts and crafts of all kinds, family activities, and more, plus main stage music and dance shows and a tasty food truck court. The Waterbury Arts Fest will be held at a new location on Railroad Street. Our grand sponsor is VSECU. Learn more and view the full schedule at waterburyartsfest.com.
Casey's Bagels, fueling Waterbury with New York-style boiled and baked bagels with 13 flavors of cream cheese. But that's not all. Sandwiches, wraps, soups, a full deli menu, and the ever-popular chicken salads. Casey's Bagels, Stowe Street in Waterbury.
Pack and Send Plus is Waterbury's full-service ship and print center. In need of a banner or sign for your graduation party, wedding, or yard sale? Then look no further. Pack and Send Plus has you covered. Right on the Rotary in Waterbury.
Up your grilling game with WDEV and Mackenzie Country Classics. Every Friday afternoon this summer, we're giving away the ultimate grilling package from Mackenzie Country Classics. Tune into the getaway each Friday between 1 and 4 and be the fifth caller when you hear the Mackenzie Country Classics theme song.
Old John Mackenzie was a dedicated man, made the best pork sausage in all the land. John told his boys, both clear and loud, carry on the name and do me proud.
The ultimate grilling package includes one package each of natural casing franks, grilling kielbasa, sweet Italian sausage, sweet sprats, thick-cut bacon, all beef deli franks, and alfresco chicken sausage. So be listening for the Mackenzie theme song.
Old John Mackenzie was a dedicated man, made the best pork sausage in all the land. John told his boys, both clear and loud, carry on the name and do me proud.
Call in Friday afternoons during the getaway to win the ultimate grilling package from Mackenzie Country Classics and WDEV.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Brady Farkas Show now has an interactive text line, so reach out now at 802-585-3026.
Now it's back to the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM, FM, and WDEVradio.com.
Welcome back in, Brady Farkas Show, right here on WDEV, AM and FM, WDEVradio.com. On the air late today, Red Sox played a day game. It's beginning at 2:20, just ended here at a little before 6 o'clock. Long game, bad loss. Sox fall to the Cubs 6-5. Red Sox pitchers walked 10 batters today. They were up 5-3 in this game in the sixth. Hansel Robles blew it to make it 5-5. Play some of the highlights back, although not sure I really want to. It was that disgusting. And then the Sox ultimately lost on what ended up being a wild pitch in the sixth from Jake Diekman. So Red Sox falter now. They're 9 games over 500, and they're about to be behind the Blue Jays now in the AL wildcard chase by 1 game. Sticking with baseball, though, but moving to the college game, we're about to talk with Jack Leggett. Jack Leggett is a Vermont native, right? He grew up in Vermont, played his high school sports at South Burlington. He was the former coach of UVM baseball. He went to the College World Series 6 times with Clemson University. College World Series ended last weekend. Ole Miss won the title, beating Oklahoma. I wanted to get this interview in earlier in the week. We couldn't make it happen until today. But again, still within the week of the College World Series ending, so it is appropriate to have Coach Leggett on. And, Coach, thanks for being with us. How are you?
I'm doing good, Brady. How about you? I hope everybody up in Vermont is doing well. It's my roots. Love it up there, and looking forward to coming up a couple times this summer to check on my mother. And I got a couple brothers and sisters that live up there, and so I'll be coming up there a couple different times.
Well, very, very excited to have you when you're back and excited to have you on the show. I got to tell you, before we really get into it, I spoke with Coach Brennan the other day. Coach Brennan comes on with me every Tuesday, and I asked him, I said, hey, I'm having Coach Leggett on, and I know you guys didn't really hit each other at UVM, but Coach Brennan knows everybody. He told me he took your brother to a Final Four back in the day. Why didn't you get in on this trip?
I guess I was left out. I guess my younger brother, Bill, I guess is more important than me, but they were good friends through basketball, and they went to a Final Four. Bill still talks about that trip being with Tom Brennan at that Final Four and all the good times that they had. So he has great memories of it, that's for sure.
Well, I guess it would make sense you weren't invited because the college baseball season begins in February, so you don't have time to go to Final Fours in March and early April. So I guess that's the reason. But I still feel bad for you that you got shut out. But you did get to coach in the College World Series at Clemson 6 times. And I got to tell you, I've done a lot of great bucket list sporting events, right? I've been to a World Series game. I've been to Super Bowl week. I've been to an NCAA tournament game before. I've been to the Elite Eight. I have never been to Omaha, and it's one of the biggest regrets so far of my 33 almost years on this earth that I've never been to Omaha. College World Series just ended this past weekend. Ole Miss won their first title. What is it like to play in Omaha?
Well, we played 6 times there. We were in 9 super regionals, which is the top 16 teams in the country. You're down to a 3-game series to get to Omaha, and so we got there 6 different times. Each of them very special. The teams were very special. You had to do some great things at the end of the season to play well to get there and and have a good season leading up to it, to be seeded well and host regionals, super regionals, those types of things. So when you get to Omaha, it's just a fantastic experience. They treat you great. There's a fireworks show and you autograph sessions, and you're treated like kings. And then it just becomes playing for a national championship. And we played all of our 6 in Rosenblatt Stadium, the old stadium. And I can still smell the funnel cakes. Anytime I smell a funnel cake somewhere, I think of Rosenblatt Stadium. I think of it just had a magical feel to it. The new stadium, I haven't been there personally, but I understand it's a little less friendly, maybe that way. Intimate, but at the same time, a very nice venue, and everybody has a great time when they go out to the College World Series, and the stands are packed. So it tells you all you need to know that it's a very, very exciting 10 days or 12 days or whatever it is now for college baseball, and everybody watches it. It's got great exposure on TV and everything else. So it's one of those things you got to put on your bucket list and keep it there and keep going after it, Brady.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I'm going to get there at some point. We're talking with Jack Leggett. He is a Vermont native, South Burlington High School product. He's been a long-time college baseball coach, just retired within the last couple of years. He went to the College World Series 6 times with Clemson. He's a former coach at UVM back in the late 70s and the early 80s, so we'll get to that momentarily, too. Let me ask you a couple Vermont-related baseball questions here. So I am a Red Sox fan by work because we carry the Red Sox games. I really do like the Red Sox, but I am a Mariners fan by life, right? Like, grew up in Seattle, Griffey, Edgar, A-Rod, Randy Johnson. So I'm a Mariners fan. So therefore, I get a lot of texts about Cal Raleigh, right? So Cal Raleigh is the catcher for the Mariners. His father, Todd Raleigh, is a Vermont native up from Swanton. He became the head coach at Western Carolina, just like you were the head coach at Western Carolina. How did Western Carolina get this Vermont pipeline to it?
Well, I in 19, gosh, I coached at UVM 1970.
I think it was 78 to 82, I think.
Coached 7, 8, 9, 80, 81, and then 82. And then I went to Western Carolina. I got the job at Western Carolina University, and when I was about 27 years old. And, there was a lot of connections. It was another Catamount school.
Yeah.
Only 2 in the country. I lived in Jackson County, which is my first name. My two neighbors were Bill and June Benson, and my brother's name is Bill, and my sister's name is June. And the guy across where we had a horse in his field, his name was Ray Wyke, and my other brother's name is Ray. So everything was kind of aligned to be there. I was there for 9 years. We won 5 championships in a row. We were able to recruit some good Vermont kids like Todd and Matt Raleigh from Swanton, Kevin Belomo from Rutland. There was just some good players that we were able to get from Vermont. They came down and are extremely loyal, and so I got really close to the Raleigh family. Excuse me, during my time as a coach there, and Todd went off and played a little bit of professional baseball, and I got the job at Clemson, so I moved on down there. But one of my former players, Keith LeClaire from Walpole, New Hampshire, who was one of my players at Western, took over for me, and so we still had the New England connection. And then Rodney Hennon, who played for me and Keith, took over after that. And then Todd took over. After that, he had been an assistant coach at James Madison and East Carolina and so forth, and had the experience and got the job at Western. And he did a really good job there. And so there's always been a New England pipeline, a Vermont pipeline. We've had some good players from Vermont come down. I had Casey Harmon from South Burlington come down and play for me at Clemson. So we've always kept our eyes on New England and Vermont in particular, because I always wanted the best players there to have an opportunity to play. And I think it's such a shame that UVM doesn't have baseball and have something for these kids to shoot for in state as a Division I program. And so anyway, we kept our eyes on it. And Todd was a great coach, and his son Cal, grew up around the field. And Cal, I've been very close to Cal all the time. Todd's done a great job with him as a father and as a coach and somebody who's worked him. And Cal's a tremendous person. Todd's got 4 great kids, and they've all been brought up the right way. And Cal is, in my estimation, is a big leaguer for a long period of time. He's a tremendous defensive catcher, switch hitter. He's just coming on as an offensive player now. I think he's second in the league, maybe in catching home runs.
Yeah,
he's just he's a tremendous player. Would have come to play for me at Clemson, but when all this happened in 2015 and I was done coaching there, he decided to go to Florida State and played there. Had a great career, and so I've been close to him, followed him. We text here and there and keep in touch. I've watched him swing in the cages before he went to spring training this year, and he's a major leaguer, and I expect he'll be there for a while.
Well, he's hitting very, very well. You're right. He's got, I think he's got over 10. I think he's got 10 home runs right now as we talk right now. So Cal Raleigh's certainly doing his part for the Mariners. We're talking with Jack Leggett here, the former UVM baseball coach, the Vermont native. That's right. I forgot you had recruited Cal Raleigh's father to Western Carolina. So that was that connection. And I'll get you out of here on this. You talk about sadly not having a place for Vermont players to play, in state at the Division I level. Well, you probably are aware that last year in the 4th round, there there was a Vermont high schooler from Montpelier by the name of Owen Kellington who was drafted in the 4th round by the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he forewent a commitment to UConn, and he is playing right now in the Pirates system. So it's the highest drafted Vermonter ever. As someone who grew up in the state and someone who recruited the state heavily, how cool is it to see a Vermonter drafted that high and starting their pro career at such a young age?
Oh, I think it's great. I just was always hoping when I coached at UVM that there would always be a program in the state, the Division I baseball program, that would be a home for the better players in Vermont and New England, and a place to go. And unfortunately, Mike Stone came in after I left, and then Bill Courier for 22 years, and he dropped the program. It's been sad since that time, because baseball is America's game, and it's something that belongs at the university. It's something that belongs in the state. So these kids have something to shoot for, and so now there's other places to go. I guess they have to go someplace else out of state and go someplace else if they really want to play a high level of baseball or play Division I baseball anyway. I know some good spots within the state to play, but at the same time, you want to play Division I baseball, you're either going to have to move out of the state and play, and that's unfortunate. But it is good to see kids go off. Casey Harmon was one of my favorite gets out of Vermont here in the last 10 years. We got him, and he pitched for us in 2010. He's been pitching ever since. I've seen him in Taiwan when I was over there with the USA team. We bumped into each other and came to the field and talked to each other, and so I had to go all the way to Taiwan to see Casey. And he's been playing in Mexico and doing well, and he runs a baseball facility with some other people and does pitching lessons and so forth. And just had a child, little boy, I guess 2 months ago, and very proud of that. So I've seen him grow up, and being part of his life has been something special for me. And so all these Vermonters, I care about them. I continue to be in contact with the Raleighs and Kevin Belomo and all the other Vermont, Ron Huntington, who played for me from Bradford, and then of course all my UVM guys that were from Vermont that are 60 years old now, that are all still very close. And we had a reunion this summer up in Stowe, or not this past summer, but summer before in Stowe, and just getting together with all my guys. It's a very special place for me. It's in my roots, and I love Vermont, and I love what it's done for me, and I love the fact that people continue to follow our progress when I was at UVM, and then at Western Carolina, and then at Clemson, and continue to follow. And so that makes me proud to be a Vermonter for sure.
Jack Leggett on the Mount Rushmore of Vermont baseball personalities. Again, the former coach at UVM, a South Burlington High School product, and 6 times at the College World Series with Clemson. Also great success at Western Carolina as well. Jack, we could do it all day. We got to run here, but I appreciate your time, and we'd love to have you on again sometime.
Anytime, Brady. I appreciate the call. I'll give my best to everybody up there, okay?
I will do just that. Jack Leggett, I was awesome. I have spoken to Jack Leggett once before in my career. I could do it all day. I could do it every day. The stories that guy could tell, the people that he knows, and as I just listen to him talk, some of the things that stood out to me right away is that's a coach who cares. That's a coach who remembered his players, a lot of them. Guys who remembered who his neighbors were, remembered who he's growing up with here. That's a guy who clearly loves Vermont. He's talking about he hasn't coached at UVM in 40 years, and here he is hanging out with his players in Central Vermont recently. I love that. That is a coach who cares. And that was one of the things that really stood out to me. The other was that he called it funnel cake. I call it fried dough. I thought funnel cake was a very, very Midwestern thing. I don't know if that's the case, though. Do you call it funnel cake or fried dough? 802-585-3026, because I call it fried dough. I thought funnel cake was just a Midwestern thing. Now, he's been to Omaha enough times. Maybe he's just adopted calling it funnel cake, but maybe he called it fried dough growing up, too. I don't know, but you go to Omaha enough times, you're going to get it called funnel cake. But I've got to get to the College World Series. I almost went this year. Jess and I were talking about it. It just didn't line up, but we were talking about it. We were looking up how to get there, how to make it happen, which days we could go. We were this close to going. I've got to get to the College World Series. It is on my bucket list. 4-time Super Bowl Media Day. Twice I've been to the NCAA tournament. America East Championship games, World Series Game 1. I have done some very cool things as far as going to events. I have never been to the College World Series, and it will happen one day. It will happen one day. I've got to get there, though. Jack Leggett 6 times at the College World Series. I thought that was awesome. So one thing I didn't think was awesome was what happened to me last night. I've been doing radio for almost 8 years now. This one is a top 5 story as far as I'm concerned. As far as things that have happened to me, this is a top 5 story. I will tell you the story of my last night and how I got home yesterday when we come back on the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM and FM.
With Marvin, selecting the best window and door products has never been easier. From design styles and materials to window and door options that enhance performance, Marvin offers quality replacement products that stand the test of time. Let our Marvin specialists at Sticks and Stuff and Swanton Lumber help make your next replacement project a success. We offer convenient curbside delivery in St. Albans, Enosburg, Swanton, Derby, and Middlesex. Shop, order online, get updated store hours anytime at sticksandstuff.discovermarvin.com.
You don't get to be the league's all-time leading rusher without feeling some pain.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith knows joint pain, and he also knows the old treatments aren't the only treatments. Today, there's a natural alternative to drugs and surgery. It's biologic therapies from QC Kinetics.
I'm talking regenerative solutions that encourage your body to heal and repair itself.
Do you have pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, lower back? Want to get your life back? The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics can help.
Call to learn more about this exciting natural way to deal with chronic joint pain.
Don't put it off. Call QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime and lasting results.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love. There's a new natural solution that patients are raving about.
QC Kinetics.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics. 802-PAINLESS. That's 802-PAINLESS. QC Kinetics. 802-PAINLESS. That's 802-PAINLESS. Treatments are not yet FDA approved.
Looking for a summer job? Why not work where the customers are the happiest around? Why are they so happy? Because they're getting the best authentic maple creamies in central Vermont at Legendary Maple and Ice Cream. Legendary Maple and Ice Cream is looking to fill summer full and part-time positions. If the idea of providing tasty dairy treats to a hungry public appeals to you, stop in to apply. Legendary Maple and Ice Cream. Look for the ice cream windows in Williamstown.
WDEV at 90 is underwritten by Northfield Savings Bank. They're the bank of you and everything you do at nsbvt.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Celebrating 90 years. WDEV.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Vermont Army National Guard. Aired by the Vermont Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Think you know sports better than Brady does? Text in with your thoughts at 802-585-3026.
Now it's back to the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV AM, FM, and WDEVradio.com.
Welcome back in. Brady Farkas Show right here on WDEV AM and FM and WDEVradio.com. A couple of texters saying, great interview with Jack Leggett. Too bad UVM can't have a baseball team now. I've given up that crusade. I understand why UVM doesn't have a baseball team. We'll have that discussion on a different day. I wish they did, but if they're not going to really invest in it, then it's not worth it. I have to tell you what happened to me last night, because this one for me, I have done some stupid things in my life. This one is close to an all-timer. Let me tell you what happened to me last night. So let me give the background, okay? Jess is already, I'm going back to Albany this weekend for the holiday. seeing some friends. Jess is already back there, right? She's from Albany already. She was off, so she's headed back. She's already been there. So last night she was gone already. So I had a full show last night, right until 7 o'clock. Red Sox were off. So on days where the Red Sox are off and I have a full show till 7, I tend to take the train into town, right? It leaves S6 at 9:45 in the morning. It leaves Waterbury to go back to Essex at 7:50. So on a day where I have a show until 7, only 50 minutes. I got enough to do, and especially Jess wasn't there, so I had nothing to go back to. So there was no rush, and it gets back at about 8:15. So no big deal. And I love taking the train. It's inexpensive. It's fun. Knock on wood, it's been on time a lot. So like I do it as much as I can. It saves miles. It's been great for me. I really enjoy it. So I got out of work last night at about 7:15, right? Show ended. I then cut up the show, put up on the podcast channel, do some stuff for the show for social media. It's 7:15. I've got 35 minutes left. And the train station is only about a 7-minute walk from the office. So really, I've got 28 minutes to play with. So what did I do last night, right? I leave work 7:15. I go over to the American Legion in Waterbury, right across the street from DEV. I made friends with those guys. I'm hanging out with Steve and the crew. I have a beer with them. And then I cut out at about 7:30. So the thing leaves at 7:50, 7:30. Then, so I walk down. I get to the train station about 7:35. And I'm loving life. I'm like, it's just about Friday, pre-holiday weekend, long holiday weekend. We're off Monday, get to recharge the batteries. I was talking to my mom on my Bluetooth headphones. I was feeling good about that. I just had a beer with Steve and the crew. I saw some guys over at the Legion that I like. I was going to have a great dinner. I was I was loving life. I'm walking to the train station. I see our friend Lisa Scaloti from the Waterbury Roundabout. I'm talking with her a bit. I'm on time. And all of a sudden, it's 7:48. Train arrives about 3 minutes early. And I'm like, whoa. Everything really is turning up, Brady. Train's not only on time, it's early. And right as I'm about to get on the train, I'm like steps away from getting on. I'm on the phone with my mom still, and the train's getting real loud, so I'm about to hang up on her anyways. And what do I realize? I'm steps away from getting on, steps away from going home. I do not have my keys. The keys to my car, the keys to my apartment, I have left in the WDEV studios. So here I am 10 minutes earlier, loving life. Loving life. I've had my beer. I've talked to my mom. I've seen Lisa. The weather's great. They're playing concerts in the park right by the train station. Now I realize I don't have my keys. I am now faced immediately with two decisions. One, I can get on the train and I can go back to Essex, where I have no way to get in the apartment. I don't have my keys. They're in the office, and Jess is gone. She's not there to let me in. So I can go home with no way to get in, and I can deal with calling the maintenance people and all that. And then tomorrow morning, today, now Friday morning, I would have no keys to my car, so I have to take the train again because I don't have my keys. So I could do that, or I could stay in Waterbury. I've paid for the train, and I could not take it. Go back to the building, get my keys. But I don't have my car. So these were the decisions I was faced with. Go home with no way to get in, or come here, come back, grab my keys, and have no car to get home. Which one do I want to do? And I'm thinking to myself in this split second, okay, I can go home, I can call the maintenance people, I'll take the train tomorrow. That's a possibility, but it's a holiday weekend. What if the maintenance people don't answer? What if I can't get in at all? What if I'm sleeping on the street because I can't even sleep in my car because I don't have the keys for that? Okay. Then I'm like, well, what if I go back to work and get my keys? I'm like, okay, I can sleep in the office. I can sleep on the couch in the office. Yeah, I'll be in my same clothes all day on Friday that I was on Thursday, but I've got my wallet. I can get food still, and I'll take the train home, and then I'll have my car on Friday. I was like, I could do that. So I'm thinking about all this. I decide I don't get on the train. I've paid for the train, but I'm not going to use it. So now I'm all frustrated. I'm like, did I really just do this? I've just taken what was a great and glorious Thursday night, and now I have made it this hell. So I go back to the American Legion. I tell the crew there the story. They're like, great, you missed the train? I'm like, no, here's what happened. I'm telling them the same story I'm telling you. They are dying. They're like, well, that sucks. And then a couple people offer to take me home. I'm like, you're not going to drive me here 30 minutes. And, some of the crew in there is 3 sheets to the wind. I'm not getting in the car with you anyway. Some of you I would trust. Some of you, not so much. Hey, that's okay. You're doing what you should be doing. I'm the moron. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? No car. Fiance's gone. No train running again. What am I going to do? I go look at Uber. I haven't used Uber since pre-pandemic. $55 to get home, and there's no cars available. There's nobody driving around central Vermont. So I'm like, okay, that's out. Can't do that. Then I go and re-download Lyft. Also haven't used it since the pandemic. There is one driver. There's one driver on the screen. He's 20 minutes away. It says $120 to get back to Essex. I'm like, hell no. I'm not doing this. $120. I'm like, bump that. I will sleep on the ground before I pay $120 to get back to Essex. So now I'm thinking again, what am I going to do? And now I'm back in the studio. I've got my keys, and George Thomas is here, and Lee is here getting ready for Thunder Road. And I'm like, maybe I'll make Lee drive me home. Maybe I'll listen to Thunder Road. Lee's engineering it. I'll make Lee drive me at 11. I'm like, I can't do that. So I go back to Uber. And all magically a car has appeared. And there's a car right there 15 minutes away. I say, okay, I'll do it. Still $55. So I got the Uber, paid it, $55 to go home. I had a train ticket in by $55 now the Uber is taking me to get home. I call my mom. I tell her that I'm found a solution. She Venmos me $55. And I'm like, Mom, I'm 32 years old. I can afford this Uber. She's like, I know, but I feel bad for you. And I'm like, I don't know if I should be happy or sad because here I am. My mom has paid for me and saved me the $55. But now I'm like embarrassed that my mom had to bail me out of trouble. So I could afford it. She just was being nice, but I'm like, I don't know if I should be thrilled that I'm saving $55 in this economy or if I should be embarrassed as all hell that not only have I forgotten my keys like a moron, I've now had to pay more than $55 total for the day to get home, and now my mom has bailed me out. So eventually, Harold from Hardwick, the Uber driver, comes and picks me up. I tell him this story. I'm trying to talk with him. He's not really having it. So now I've done all this, and I got shut down by the Uber driver practically. But eventually, I did get home. $55 later, had my keys, got home, had hamburgers on the George Foreman grill because it was too late by the time I got home to actually go outside and grill, watched TV, and that was that. But I went from loving life, taking the train, which I love, to needing the Uber from Harold from Hardwick. Shout out to you, Harold. Sorry you didn't want to talk to me that much, but appreciate you showing up, because otherwise I probably would still have been here from last night. That's my story of how I got home. Red Sox lose today. Celtics trade for Malcolm Brogdon. We're off until Tuesday. Have a great holiday weekend. Stay safe, everybody. Go America. Thanks to everybody who is served. I'll see you on Tuesday. Jazz with George Thomas is next on DEV.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see